goodness, guys. So sorry for the wait. It's the weirdest thing. We started just streaming. Everything, we had it set up maybe an hour ago, half an hour ago. Everything was going well, but wouldn't you know it? I don't know. It's like, maybe we ought to change this to 8 o'clock. I don't know. I think 7 o'clock is haunted or something.
I don't know. I think our problems might happen at 8 o'clock as well.
It might do it, and hopefully it's not too jerky right now. We're not sure what the deal is, if it's our internet connection or what. But we did a hardwire into the computer now. We restarted the computer, restarted the internet. So I don't know if it's just the bandwidth that we're stuck with right now, if there's something the weather-wise or something going on.
In Frontier, a new company came in and bought out Verizon for our area. It's called Frontier, and we've not heard great things about the bandwidth.
Oh, is that?
I don't know. Could be, but anyway, hopefully you're catching us in between glitches.
Yeah, really. Yeah. It's gonna be like a Minecraft video tonight.
Like a cartoon.
Yeah. Oh my word. Well. And we're joined tonight by my two PLFs, permanently lady friends, over there on the couch.
We've got some people in the chat. Valerie says that there's bad buzzing on the audio.
Oh. All right.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully it should end in about. Well, hopefully when you hear me saying this, it's ended. There's a lag, but when you hear me saying this, hopefully the audio's gone. If I'm saying this and it still has a really loud buzz, let us know, please.
What is that you unplugged?
The computer. The power of the computer. We're having some weird issues. It's like we're having a feedback to it. It doesn't have anything to do with the bandwidth or all that. That's a separate issue. Mm-hmm. But there's something that's giving us dirty power. We have dirty, unclean, toxic power going.
Sounds horrible.
I know. You expect some brown stuff to ooze out of the electrical lines or something.
Linda E. just said, much better.
Oh, so sorry, guys. And this is something that we wanted to talk about tonight. And the entire studio is a horror show right now. We have stuff everywhere. It's crazy. My mom came in here and I said it's bad. She's like, oh yeah, it's bad. She's like, oh. It's a little dangerous to walk around. We have cables and stuff, but
we'd show you, but we might die trying.
Yeah, exactly. And we'd probably unplug something and set the computer on fire. It's all a little ridiculous. But one of the things though that we're going to try to do, and tonight is a really good, I guess, underscore of that, because we're wanting to make a better show. We're just enjoying the heck out of this whole workshop. And this summer we've been traveling quite a bit, and we've actually run into a number of people that have watched it, and it's been a blast.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, and so the whole idea is that we want to make it better. And when we first started doing this live stream, it was all sort of a test. We're just like, hey, do we even like doing it? Is it fun? Do cool people interact? do they talk? Because we thought that would be the fun thing if we could chat with people and actually hear what people are doing, and it's been a lot of fun. So now we thought, let's take it to the next level. Let's do what we need to do to make better sound, to make a better, everything. And tonight, of course, it's Murphy's Law. We haven't done all this yet. We're in the process of doing it, and that's why the studio is in chaos. But some of the ideas that we have, though, we're actually going to build a stage, because we're going to have live models. We're going to have like theme sort of nights, we can, everything you might want as an artist. That's things that kind of get us excited. I think, well, maybe it'll get you excited too. Maybe everybody would love this, but be able to have theme nights, have like a Roaring Twenties, where you have a person or two and they're dressed up, in the Roaring Twenties kind of outfits and things. Maybe get a flapper, and maybe get somebody in a zoot suit or something, and
what are they gonna do?
Just pose and model. So
you're gonna paint them.
Yeah, so we can actually do some art workshops and get some guest artists in here, different techniques. There's all sorts of things, just so it'd be more fun, so that instead of just working on a painting, the same sort of painting, actually be able to work from life, be able to work from things that are actually happening. And it's the same sort of experience you would get at an art school. So, if you went to an art school and you were taking a life drawing class, every week you would have models there. You'd have this sort of stuff going on. Not this cool, though. We want to amp it up and do kind of like, if we were in control of the art school, what sort of thing we would want to do. So if you have any kind of ideas, like anything that you would want to do, any themes, you could be like, I don't know, 1950s pinup. It could be,
Yeah.
What's another idea? I don't know.
Well, I
the
like
70s. The 70s is right.
70s. I mean.
80s. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The fashion of the 80s. We could do that.
I mean,
Oh
and
my
you,
gosh.
I mean, I am kind
Oh
of.
my gosh. I'm gonna miss that week.
I was kind of excited about the Star Trek idea because I already have some outfits.
Oh yeah, that's true. This is true. And for the 80s, I think I still have a members only jacket that I've latched onto. I tried to. Jackie keeps trying to throw away my members only jacket, but I think I managed to keep on to it.
Maybe. I can't make any promises.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
your
gonna
dad
do- I'm gonna-
has one if you don't have yours.
Oh no! Well, he needs to come, and we'll sport them together. We'll look so cool.
So anyway, the idea
parachute
is,
pants.
the idea is to have. I mean, we're not just gonna cosplay for an hour. The idea is to have a model that's like the whole night's themed, and then people will be kind of around the studio. That's why we're in the middle of like changing things, is because we're going to move the cameras around and have people in and different cameras, like one on the model, one on us, with John talking, and then one maybe on some of the people and talk about what they're doing. But it'll be like everybody at home has a sort of bird's eye view of like the art workshop happening, and you'll also have a screen with the model on it, so you guys can do art at home as well. So
Yeah, and that's
That'd be
it's
cool.
really well, and that's right. Like we want to have other artists come in, actually be here in the studio, so that so it's not just me painting or and all that. We like I want to paint too, and I want to draw, but this show isn't just about like my artwork, and it's not about any one thing. It's about all of us, kind of what we're into. So we want to have other artists here so that you can see other styles, way other people interpret things, and just make it bigger and more fun, and
yeah.
so that's really the idea. So if you have any ideas of things that you might like to see on it, let us know, because we're in the production right now. Behind me, you'll notice this white sheet thing. We're building the stage back here, and it's going to be a 35 square foot stage,
Wow.
which sounds big, but it's only like 5 feet by 7 feet. But if you multiply it together, it sounds huge. Big 35 square foot's nice, and it's only going to be like 8 inches or a foot off the ground, but it's enough for a model or two people to be able to be up here and us to set scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe we can do one of the things that I think was really cool, and I know Norman Rockwell. He gets dinged a lot, saying like, "Oh, I don't know." I love the guy. I think he's awesome. There's things I don't like about him, but one of the
Like
things I think is
what?
really cool. I don't. I mean, like,
Look out.
well, one of the things is that I think he gets dinged a lot because he did a lot of Americana sort of stuff where he was
Yeah.
just trying to push buttons. Like he wasn't necessarily like maybe going to the limits of his art, because he was just doing like maybe like a magazine cover. So he was trying to do what the person that was going to buy the painting wanted necessarily. He wasn't, but he also did a whole slew of artwork that he did that's all about him and all about his emotions and what he felt that most people have never seen. I mean,
Huh.
I think he's a true artist.
I didn't
and-
know that.
Yes, he does some really dark stuff too.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's what I mean. And people don't know about it because it's more private. He did it. But one cool thing that I think he did, that I know he did, but the one thing that I like was that he would set up a scene. Like a lot of times those paintings you see existed in real life because they would set up an entire scene of like kids in the school, the chalkboard, all that. And that's how you could get such detailed paintings.
Yeah,
So
they
we want to do
were.
something like that here, but not that detailed. Oh, I'm sorry, Mom.
I just said they were really, really detailed.
Isn't it crazy? Yeah. It was like I think it's introduction and that sort of realism.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Valerie said that that maybe we could do a collaboration with her. She just launched her photography YouTube channel. So anybody out there watching,
Heck yeah.
subscribe to it.
Man, I would love to do a collaboration with you. That would be really, really cool. We'll have to talk and figure out what that would look like. I don't even know. But man, yeah, I'm sure we could come up with something really
Well,
cool.
Jackie said you were going to go to Andy's and do something in his studio that he's...
Yeah, that's right. Jackie Siri's brother, Andy Siri, is this really great artist, and he does painting and sculpture. But
She
what
was
he's
telling
really
me he does something with wood.
Wood turning.
Yeah, wood turning.
He's now into wood turning.
Yeah, I mean, what he's really known for, I think, is like his throwing pots and his work with sculpture and all that, with clay. But he's taken this turn to turning. So he's and he's making these really intricate, really cool sort of things. And Andy's one of those guys that's like an artist. Like he knows a little bit or a lot, depending, about everything, which is really cool. So, I would definitely. He has he has a huge kiln in his place that he's had forever, but he just hasn't installed in his new house. And it'd be cool to go over there and just take a peek. And why not get out of the studio for a bit? We'll go over there and.
I should say I have to correct myself, Valerie. It's wood burning, not photography. I've read it way too fast. Pyrography.
Oh.
Pyrography.
Graphics with fire.
Yeah, or with fire, which sounds
fire
awesome.
art. Yeah, man. Yeah, that would be really cool.
But we should probably fill everybody in on why we haven't been doing a live show for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah. Oh well, there's several reasons. I almost want to be like Wizard of Oz, like lions, tigers, and bears. But there were bears.
There were bears.
Yeah, a mama bear and the baby bears at a campsite that we were at. Yeah, they
You
were
saw
like.
a baby bear and mama bear?
No. They came and said, don't. We got the camper, the turtle. They're like, don't leave the turtle. There's a mama bear. And, there's a bear in the campsite. And
yeah, they were
which
like,
isn't
get
it?
all your food out from the picnic tables and stuff.
Don't leave the turtle.
Well, okay, so we have the big work truck. It's the ox, and the camper is the turtle.
Oh, so they didn't actually come in and say, don't leave the turtle.
No.
They didn't know you named it the turtle. Okay.
But
Kimberly Severe says hi, Debbie.
well, hi.
Hi, Kimberly who?
Severe, Kim Beto, Wanda, and Oli's daughter.
Oh, hi there. Yes, yes.
Well,
All right, family tuning in.
Well, it's good to see you. Well, it's good to be seen by you. I'm a dork. You already know that. I don't know what I'm saying half the time.
Okay,
but the thing with the bears, though, like that wasn't really that scary. I mean, because we knew there were bears in the area and stuff like that. But the only weird thing is that it was a mama bear with cubs. So if there's any bear, that's the kind you don't want to run into.
Yeah, my only hang up was Jack and I throughout the trip we would go out and geocache, and I was a little nervous doing that. I didn't know what I was going to walk up on and have to throw Jack in front of me to save my life.
Oh yeah, and the whole time we're on the top of a mountain. There's not much to run to, really. I mean,
yeah.
For most of the trip, we're like at 8,500 feet, and parts of it were close to 12,000 feet because we took a wrong turn. But and this is following. We had just left a forest fire, like a major forest fire, and where the entire area ended up getting evacuated.
Yeah, I don't know. People who subscribe to the channel, they probably caught the periodic Have Art Will Travel updates that I was doing. I was trying to just do a running sort of informal blog of what was going on with the trip, and I should
have filmed you on the mountain driving.
No,
that would have been great just to put together.
I guess it was the whole experience was a little ridiculous. Like I didn't. We have a big, probably 20-foot work truck that has a box on the back, and then we have a 24-foot camper that we pull with that. So the whole rig is over 40 feet. And I didn't think anything of, the mountains. I was like, let's hit it. Let's go to Colorado. It's going to be a party. Let's go. And then we got out there, and the first stop we made was in Salida, or Coaldale. And in order to get there, you have to go down and up and down and up some mountains. And so once you're there, there's no way out but down and up and down some mountains. So it freaked me out. That was probably one of the first times John's ever seen me have a panic attack, which I never really have panic attacks, but I was full blown freaking out.
You did a lifetime's worth though on that one trip. You're
I did.
Good now.
I did. But the trip became a little ridiculous. It was one thing after another. We got to Coaldale, and I'm nervous from the drive, and then the wildfire that was when we got there didn't exist, and then by the time we were possibly being evacuated, it had grown to 16,000 acres.
That's true. We were at a show. We were doing the show there, and some people were like, "Oh, look at the clouds. They're so pretty off in the distance." Then after a while, somebody says, "That's not clouds. That's smoke. There's a forest fire." We're like, "Oh," and then we asked the guy that was putting the show on. We're like, "Do you think we're in any danger? When we go back?" And he was like, "Oh no." And we're like, "Well, we live 20 minutes, or our trailer's 20 minutes that way." He was like.
Yeah,
well, he was worried because his place was 10 minutes that way. And he was like, "Oh yeah, well then you probably need to worry."
He told us you guys can pack up and leave early if you want to go get your camper.
We didn't leave early, but we did. But
we record timing packed up.
yeah, we had a 20 foot by 10 foot, like, full on tent, the giant walls, everything, full, and we,
And yeah.
2.5 hours, we had to haul it out in carts.
So and then to top that, we get there.
Something.
We get to the camps, we get to the RV place, and the woman's like, it's probably nothing, whatever, we're fine. And so when later that night she comes and she's like, well, go ahead and pack up, because if we do have to evacuate, which we might now, you need to be able to leave immediately. So by the time the next day rolls around, the smoke's coming in. We're just like,
It was just us. Like, it was packed when we first got there. Like, there wasn't a empty spot. And by the time that next morning, it was just us and some other guys.
Yeah, like 3 other RVs that were like, should we go? and then on top of that, we leave, and because it's the mountains, you don't always have internet connection. So we're driving out. And I'm like, the whole time I'm super nervous about driving in the mountains. I just have to like rip the Band-Aid off, just let's go, whatever. I just want to get there. And I've psyched myself out to do this, and the GPS cuts out, and I took a wrong turn, and I accidentally went over an 11,000 foot mountain.
Almost 12,000.
And get to the other side. It's a 60-minute drive over this thing. Get to the other side where internet kicks back in, and I realize I took a wrong turn. And the only way out is to go back over the same mountain. So that was where I lost it. I lost it. And so just powered through it, went back through, got over to Golden, Denver area, and then after that we were just like, it just, and then Jack busted his eyebrow open at the playground. It was just like, oh my gosh, I'm good. Let's.
Yeah, but it was funny with the fire though, because it smelled great. It smelled like the best campfire you'd ever smell. But it was and when we left, but by the time we got to the next stop, we learned that they had to evacuate that entire town and the whole area. So we were like the last people to get out before they made people leave. And
well, John, didn't that affect your asthma?
no, we stayed inside. That was one nice thing about having a camper. Mm-hmm. We stayed inside, and it filtered the air really, and it wasn't that bad. So a little bit, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Well, something I wanted to do really quick, and I wanted to get in, and I thought maybe tonight we could do something a little different and do some art workshops like with children, show some things that you can do with your kids and whatnot. It's just have fun. But the owner of the Tulip Company.
Do you want me to come over there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Tulip, we do these art workshops all over the country, and a lot of times whenever we're making the raised line drawings, most of the time, and museums will sometimes make them for us too. Oh, you're fine. You can stay there, Joe. Oh, well, whenever we're making these raised line drawings and stuff, we use Tulip brand paints. And the owner of the company,
Larry Duncan.
Yeah, he heard about this, and Larry is such an awesome guy because
he's super nice.
Oh my goodness, he just contacted us and said, "Hey, do you guys want some products?" And I know they're going, "Oh my goodness." And he sent us, and we've unboxed this one box.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff in it, the box is exploding, and it's just...
It's a ton of tulip paint to use at the various, workshops we do with all the museums and for the kids to use so that they can lay down raised line drawings and feel them and all sorts of stuff. I mean, it was awesome.
One of the great things about it, though, is that a lot of times whenever we go, like if I get a show in a museum or if we're doing a gallery somewhere, I'll usually try to do workshops from the schools and around there, and a lot of times the schools don't have any money to pay anything, but if you're in town anyway, and you have a free day, you might as well go by and just do it. But a lot of times these schools and these after-school programs and things, they don't necessarily have money to buy materials. So this is just awesome because it means you can go into the school. They don't have to spend any sort of money, to have you there, and they don't have to buy the supplies. And what I'm looking at this is full of this paint.
So
make thousands of drawings.
I think he sent us 36 white things, and here I'll hold it up a little bit. 36 of these white tulip slick paints and 36 of the black, which is going to go so far with these workshops.
Feels like more than 36.
Yeah, well.
Because they're all in this box.
I mean, it's 36 white and 36 black.
That's crazy, though.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm really excited about, too, because this is the sexy bit.
We waited. We didn't unbox this at all. We were waiting to do this on camera because I kind of had a hit what was in it, and I was excited about it. So we're gonna. Okay.
Wow, so I don't even know, but
so I'll go through this.
He said lots of different things.
These are and this is all from the Tulip Company, and these are beads in a bottle. So you little droplets, and they look like little
how
beads.
neat.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, isn't that neat?
Yeah.
So
What's this?
these are fabric markers, primary t-shirt marker kit. So, and it's got some stencils underneath it, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
So that'll be fun to mess with. Okay, and then this is all for me.
What's that?
Lip paint, and it's all different. It's lip gloss, but it's also got it's got the gloss, and then it's also got the powdered stuff. So apparently they don't just do arts and crafts stuff, they do these fun little lip
Are
glosses.
you sure that's not from me, Jack?
I don't know. It's in two. I'm pretty sure Larry.
I'm pretty sure we can share. There's plenty in here. He gave us, I think, like,
I'm pretty sure someone's for me.
oh, I'm sure. Whatever you want, baby.
Oh.
So
Hey, what's the
more
next thing?
slick paint. This is tacky glue. So I'm sure a lot of you out there, this probably looks familiar with the gold and the purple. This is this is all over craft stores. This is their tacky glue that they use.
Well, what's? Oh, this is more
It's
than
different
tacky glue,
types
isn't
of tacky glue. This is Fabric Fusion. It's just a fabric adhesive and stuff, so we can play with that.
One of the cool things that I think about this is that like he just heard about the workshops that we did, and like we didn't contact the company, we didn't do any of that. He just thought, hey, I'd like to be involved with that, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's more of the lip gloss is a nice red color.
Oh,
Too bad I'm not playing Derby anymore. That would be
what's this?
like a Derby color. Liquid Fusion. It's looks like a serious adhesive, industrial strength.
Wow.
Non-foaming waterproof adhesive.
Hey, I think you're in luck. I think maybe you got some more here.
Nice. Handle up.
You're gonna get tarted up, man.
And it's all got this like cool glitter in all different shades. It's awesome.
What is this here? This is big.
Okay, this is Scribbles Pop 3D paint.
Okay.
In all different colors. Shiny, brilliant. Very cool. So we're gonna have a blast with that. And the Dallas Museum of Art just recently contacted you to do some workshops, so
Yeah.
this will come in super handy.
Yeah. Every October is Art Beyond Sight Month, and I do workshops with the Dallas Museum of Art. They're a really good example of what a good museum can do. That and also the Meadows Museum. But
Yeah, their education program is awesome, and thanks to Amanda Blake and
Yeah.
everybody over there is fantastic. So this is neon dimensional fabric paint. So this probably looks familiar. So they sent us some of that.
It's down, and there's a box of stuff. So,
Done. Are you ready for this?
oh, here it is. I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
What is it?
This is the Air Pen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is that? I was going to say, oh, really? Like I know, but I'm clueless.
Okay, and
Sounds
some
cool, though.
of you might have. I don't know, but there's YouTube videos on how to use this thing. But basically, what it is it's almost like a mini airbrush gun, and you hook it to this device, and it just pushes. Let's see if I can explain this. I watched a YouTube video on it.
So like it'll spray it out?
Yeah, so you take the different like acrylic sort of weird paints that you want to use. They have specific paints that also go in it. You hook it up to this device. These are the little vials. You can kind of see. It looks like a needle vial, and it's got all different little heads for different thicknesses. I don't know how well you can see, but there's different thicknesses, all the different colored heads.
It comes with a dental tool too, so
Yeah.
so while you're making your art, your teeth are gonna be clean.
So you would take this thing, you fill this with paint, and then you hook it to this little device that's constantly like pushing air into it, and then there's this hole right here, and you cover it, and when you cover it, the air then pushes it out of this thing, and when you don't cover it, it releases the air.
Oh.
So you can
Control it.
you can control it as you're going through. You can like do you can
Yeah.
close it and it'll push it out, and then you can do like thin lines and all sorts of different stuff. This thing,
Man.
I was super stoked to.
Man, we need to do a whole workshop.
I know. I was like, I thought
this
once we
thing.
unveiled this and kind of got accustomed to it, we could do a whole thing on how to use this. And the great thing about this, which is so cool, is that when John and I do a lot of these workshops, we will spend an entire evening doing hundreds and hundreds of raised line drawings because the workshop may have 200 kids in it, and they each need their own drawing, and some want to do a second one and all that. So our arms are cramped, just trying to make this. So
what do you draw? What do you?
I like flowers, like the stuff we painted on the previous thing.
Oh, yeah.
And so I mean, you just bam, go to town with that. It's just an air gun with a slick paint.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. So I personally would like to send a big thank you to Larry.
Yeah, man.
And
man, you're awesome, and the Tulip Company is awesome. You guys just have a big heart, and there's going to be hundreds of kids that get to use this stuff. And they're going to be making art, and the cool thing about the workshops is that we work with kids. Most of the kids we work with don't have a disability, but quite a few do. But even the children that don't have a disability, after the workshop, they look at disability in a completely different way.
Yeah.
So it's it's not only art, but we're it's spreading
Awareness.
Yeah, and it's just so much fun. I got stuff calling me.
So thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you so much. That's so brilliant.
Here,
I want to touch this some more, man. I want to make.
I want to see that lip gloss.
You're gonna be covered in it before the evening's over.
That's gonna be coming in.
It'll be funny. Every time we cut back over to you, your lips are gonna get bigger and bigger. Just rainbow different colors. I can't wait. Man, that is so cool.
Wow, isn't that cool?
Man, and if anybody has any ideas, we're trying to stream to Facebook, and we cut that out tonight because we thought, well, maybe that's what's making the jerky video and all that, and I don't know if the video is still jerky or if it's worked itself out, but that's something that we're going to try to figure out before next Friday. And the way the schedule is going to be is that we are going to be able to do a live show next Friday, and we're going to try to have all this stuff, all the technical stuff worked out, and we're going to try to be able to stream at a higher rate, like in a high definition. Any definition would probably be good at this point, just so long as it's not jerky. But that's the goal for next Friday, and then we're going to be off for a week. But then whenever we come back, though, hopefully, if everything goes well, it'll be a full unveiling of all the ideas. And guys, if you don't have an idea tonight, but if there's something you would like to see in our art workshop, send me an email or write a comment on this, and because it'd be great to hear about that. I need to go. I want to do some art workshops. I mean, I want to do some things with some workshops that you can do with your kids that are just kind of fun sort of things. But I need to go collect a child really quickly.
You want me to go get him?
Oh, sure.
Sure.
John, while she's doing that, I wanted to ask you about that benefit.
A bunch of Tulip products there.
There's some in the floor right in the front.
I know. I've split that box. I'm gonna put them all up on the shelves and
well,
get
before
them all
he gets
organized.
in here, I want to ask you that that benefit you did for the school for the dog.
the guide dog school.
Yes, I never can say that. Yeah, the guide dog
Oh my
school.
goodness, yes. I can't believe we didn't mention that, but we did a show there, and
Yes, and I wanted to ask you about those cookies
those are delicious.
and why I didn't get one. Is really
I hate them. I didn't. So I didn't know you.
Cookies.
Well, I blame Jackie. She brought 4 home because she
Are
just
you
wanted to take a
serious?
picture of them, and I was like, but they tasted really nice.
They looked nice. That was so cool. How
I'm
did they
so
do
sorry.
that? Yeah, I guess so.
It's like a printing machine that they have that'll print icing.
Yeah. Oh.
So on the cookies, they took some of my for the art show. They took some of my paintings and printed them out on cookies, which was pretty cool.
Yeah,
We were going over the cookie caper.
You're with Dad.
Hey, yeah, we're gonna do some stuff.
What's this about you eating all the cookies, Jackie?
But it was so cool though.
I didn't eat all the cookies.
Said,
The art show-
where's my
Hey,
cookies? Said he blamed you.
Actually, you can be on that side. Whatever. The art show though, it was actually the show is still going on. It's not going to end until the end of September. It's the Greller Gallery in San Antonio. And the great thing about it is that half of everything that's sold goes directly to the guide dog school.
And the school where you got Echo, right?
Yeah.
You should trade spots with Jack.
Oh, okay. Well, let's trade spots. I forgot. There's probably a window. There's probably Nanny and Mom are probably right over your head.
Yep.
You just can't see them. They're floating right above your head.
As usual.
So if you raise your hands up too quickly, you might hit them.
why he was doing it in the pool.
So,
Hey, there's those speaker things.
yeah, I guess it's a microphone. So everybody can hear every word you say. So what I wanted to do, there's lots of, I don't know, one of the things I love about doing stuff with kids is it's just so much more fun. It just, I don't know, I paint every day, but it's so much more enjoyable sometimes, like just to do it with your kids, and it's something you can share with them. So what I thought we could do today is just some mono printing.
Ooh. Do tell.
Yeah, so.
What's that?
Yeah, Jack. how
What an
did
excellent
you?
question. Mono printing is,
Wait, let me guess.
okay, yeah. here.
You think of
Print-
something
print it
and you paint it. Or you draw it.
Well, that is part of it. We're gonna make this paper really wet. So what I'm doing is I have a board here and duct tape, because it's the fanciest tape. And I'm gonna put it down on this board.
Yes.
It is the black, isn't it? So I'm putting this down here so that the paper hopefully won't buckle too much while we're doing this. When it dries, it helps if you put something heavy on it. So I'm just putting this down. Is that framed pretty well
Yeah. Yeah.
on the overhand?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I will add, what I took watercolor in college, and if you're doing watercolor paintings, one way to there is a way to pre-stretch your watercolor paper.
Yeah.
And that is what we used to do is we'd have big boards and we would just completely soak them in the bathtub. Get the paper completely soaked. You have to get a pretty heavy tube of paper, but soak it, and then you lay it out on the board, and you staple it and lay tape over it, and then you would paint it. So whenever you did watercolor, it wouldn't buckle and cause weird ridges in your paint.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So just if anybody's doing watercolor, that's a way to prime your.
Here, I'm kidding. That was on purpose. Okay.
Jack, quit.
Stop, please. Hey, can you squirt the paper though? Here, let's squirt it some more.
So what are you just what are you
Okay,
doing?
so I'm making the paper really wet. We want to pre-moisten the paper.
Pretty moist.
Okay. Now what we're gonna do, big boy?
I think I'll need a purple.
Ooh, purple, you say?
Maybe
Now,
I'll need only purple and black.
Hopefully-
No, wait, also white.
Hopefully we have a purple. The studio, as we mentioned, is in flux. We got stuff all over the place. Now I brought an assortment of things, and what we're going to do before we use that assortment of things. Pardon me. We got some paint here. Let me see.
Nope.
I had some purple earlier. This might be purple. Gosh.
There's some flowers over here.
Here, let me use mine.
I don't want to try.
Okay, so
See, Jack. See, you can put some things on there.
That
if
looks
you
like
want.
so what are you doing? I mean,
Well, I'm just about to say. I'm just dropping some color in there. So, do you want to drop a little color on yours? So right now we're just putting a little color on the background of your painting, and this is going to be sort of an abstract kind of thing. So first we're just going to put a little bit here. Need some more water?
Yeah.
So we're just putting a little water. Here, you want to put a little more? The nice thing about this is that there's no right or wrong with it, so you can just sort of have fun. And we don't want to put too much. I'll tell you why. Now, what you can use is acrylic paint, you can use watercolor paint, you can use anything that you want.
will the acrylic paint cause a different effect?
No, not really. Well, it depends. That's a good point. The acrylic paint that I'm using is a high flow acrylic. So it's basically like ink. So you can use watercolor. Right now I'm using artist ink, and
I got some
Got
on
some
my
yellow?
big pinky.
you're gonna get more than that on you. So here, do you want to put some more color real quick?
No, maybe we're gonna go for purple.
Okay, you want to put some more? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this stuff down. We're gonna add some different elements to it. And the idea this is just mono printing.
Hey, why is this wet?
Everything's wet, baby.
What does mono mean?
Like, half of
Means
this
one.
is slimy.
So we're just doing like a printing of one thing. Hey Jack, just put it on there, darling.
Half of it's slimy.
Oh, I know, darling. It's because we squirted it. So see, just put lots and lots of stuff down, and we're just gonna make different patterns. We got cardboard. We also have salt.
Oh, salt's gives a cool effect.
Yeah.
Make it as a jungle.
Yeah, Jack, I like that.
There you go. That's for that.
How do you open it? Oh.
Here. Just put a little in your hand and then sprinkle it.
Do you have any green paint, Jack?
Yeah, some green paint would be cool. Sprinkle it on. There you go. Let me put some more water. So.
Hey, right now we're thinking of like a jungle on Minecraft that's all made of snow.
Really?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So what do you?
So I'm putting some more color on this. And the idea is that the stuff that you put on there is just going to block some of the paint. So it's just something you do, and then you can take it and you can push it down. You can do some different things with it.
It's cool looking.
You can move it around, or it's just sort of a simple kind of.
So do you remove the foliage and?
Yeah, you can. You can move it. You can push it down.
I mean,
You may want to help Jack like get color out. I don't think he's done our. Explain the squeezing process to him.
Here's the squeezing.
You gotta, Jack, when the dopper is in the thing, you squeeze it and then let up, and then you pull it out and then squeeze it all over the thing.
he's saying, what's it all?
I'm confused.
Another thing you can too, and one thing that'd be cool with that air machine that Tulip gave us is you can actually go in there and you can gotta open it up, then just squeeze a little bit. Oh no!
Oh.
There you go. There you go. That's crazy expensive paint. That's good. Here, you want to put a little up here?
Yeah.
Okay, just drop it though. Don't squeeze it hard. You just want some drops because whenever it hits it, it's gonna go crazy. Put more water. So really, the big thing about this, the thing that we're gonna do with this is it's just gonna make sort of an abstract painting. But the neat thing about it is that once it dries, you can make it really thick, and then you can do other printings on top of it.
Well, do you remove the foliage after it dries?
You can.
Or you just leave it on there? Or?
Well, you take it off eventually.
Okay.
So we could take some of it off now, or you could leave it. You know, and I'm not sure. Like a lot of times, like the foliage. Foliage.
It looks really neat on there. Is the reason I am.
Yeah, that could be cool. So I'll let this dry a little bit, and we have a heat gun, and well, it's really wet. So I'm thinking we may need to take some more of that off. You want to do some brushing on it? Okay, well you can also do brushing. You can also take it back off. So I think, I'm thinking that the stuff we got is so big, it's not really making a good imprint. You know what I mean? It's so wet that, here, let me try to make it a print. See, like you can take it, and you can actually make different imprints with it. You're just gonna go painting. Now here's one thing. There's kind of a discussion about doing art with children, and the discussion is it wrong to tell the kids what to do? And I think it's never wrong to tell kids what to do. But it's true though. So I mean, like this is a mono printing thing, but if the kid wants to use a brush, you can use a brush. There's no right or wrong. Can I use some of your green or your stuff?
Yep.
You put a lot of blue in there, didn't you? Green. What color is it?
Green.
So you can kind of print it. And this is just going to be kind of a wet mess, but then when you're done with it, you can actually turn it into a background for something. Or you can take different shapes. So it's just a big mess.
Jack looks like a storm cloud in your jungle.
You know what you can do too?
Or a star.
Here. You mind if I sprinkle some salt on there?
Yep. Actually, no.
Okay. Well, let's let these dry a little bit.
Well, so what happens if you were to hit it with a heat gun?
Well, I'm going to hit it with a heat gun and let it dry a little bit, and it's going to give it more of a watercolory feel.
Yeah.
Here, let me pour it for you. You want more?
Will the heat make the paint spread out more? Or?
It might a little bit, but it shouldn't too much. It should kind of freeze. It depends on what you do with the heat gun. If you have it really high, you can blow it around. So it just depends. The main thing, though, really with an activity like this isn't really what you end up with. Mm-hmm. It's more just having fun doing it, and having the having your kids do something other than Xbox or. Or get on the
Are you
iPad
judging me?
for a while. Am I judging you? Yeah. Yes. No, I'm not. You can also get a. You can also take. Let me see. Tissues. Okay, that's probably good with that, baby. We don't want it. I know, but we don't want to get the board too wet with paint because of our next thing.
Can I use some of this?
No, let's stop with the paint for a little bit, and I'll tell you why. You can also take tissues and you can drop them on there, and it'll cause a dabbling effect. So you can dab it.
You can do that with a washcloth too, can you? Or
Yeah, I
sponge?
sure do. I've got some right. You sure can. Here, do you want to dab yours? Get some of the water up. Let's go dab it. So, the neat thing about that is that like if you want to lighten an area, like let's say if you want to lighten this area, you can take more off, and it'll make it lighter. See, so like if you want to give it like a smoky effect,
Just
you can start taking
stir it
the paint off a little bit and just give it sort of a more of a smoky, so you could have the light coming through. And it just gives you a little more control. And then later, another thing you can do too, if you have Legos, you can put Legos down there. So if your kid is really into Minecraft, you could build a whole little blocky Minecraft kind of world for them to play on.
Yeah.
You know, so you have all these little blocks and stuff, and they have fun putting the Legos down. Then you can either get some sort of spray, or you can, put the paint down, sprinkle the paint down, or whatever you want. You can put it on your fingers, get crazy, and just get sort of that effect. Here, let's not put any more paint though right now, because we're going to move on to the next thing in just a minute. But I'm wondering, do you want to do art news while I get this cleaned up a little bit?
Oh, sure.
All right. I think you did a great job, Ben.
Where's my piece of paper?
Oops.
That's okay. That's okay.
John, when's your next art festival?
Well, we were going to do Cheeseman, and I'm so sorry. There's, I got some emails from people that were going to look for us at Cheeseman, or at least one email from
Where's
someone.
Cheeseman?
It's in Colorado,
Oh, I
Nope.
see.
Strawberry.
and we're not. Hey, Jack, can you come?
You got one more thing to do.
Yep.
Okay, so
Got
I'm
one
gonna
more we're
do.
bud.
Where is it? Art.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry too. Hey, can you throw this in the trash over there? Cool.
Bam.
Where?
It's art news time, people.
Art news. Jack, that giant.
Hi,
white
hi,
man.
hi.
All right, so just a couple of quick stories that were a little interesting on the interwebs. BP is donating 7.5 million to
Pounds.
to 3 different major art institutions in
Who's BP?
British
British
Petroleum.
Oh. Okay.
So the controversy is that they're donating this but they're doing it over a period of 5 years, and which to 3 major organizations. I think it's like the major museum over there, and then the Shakespeare Theater, and then one other I can't remember. But the problem is that and this is just kind of like to spark any sort of conversation in the chat, but there's a lot of controversy over this, that BP's getting too much good press, even though it's over 5 years. It's only 7.5 million, which is really only like 0.05% of those institutions' budget or something. So it's just a penny, to everything else that they need funding for. So you can see that on your screen there is a picture of protesters outside of I don't know where that is. Do you know where that
No, it's just protesters.
it's probably
there's
outside the
millions of
major
them.
museum. But anyway, they're angry because the institutions took the money and it's giving great press to BP and all that sort of jazz. So anyway, we thought that was interesting. And
Jack.
honey.
Hey, Jack, can you come over here, please?
Yeah, go. Dad needs your help. The other interesting thing that was a little kind of crazy, I thought, was see.
Jack, come over here.
The VA, for anybody that has heard about this, the VA has spent $20 million in art for their various hospitals, I think, over a 10-year period. And during this, they've been criticized for having horrible, service. People are laid up in the hospital, and it's just all the patients aren't getting what they need, but they're going to spend $20 million on various art, things around the hospitals, which seems a little crazy. When I saw this, I thought, maybe I'm crazy, maybe this is just me, but one of the biggest pieces of art they have there is this. It costs $300,000, and it's this big wall that you have to walk across a bridge to get to. It's this big wall, and across the wall is this Morse code, sort of different colored Morse code piece of art, and it's to pay tribute to the blind veterans.
Oh yeah.
And what's odd about it is, first of all, it's Morse code, which I think that's just a little I don't know, you phoned that in, and there's no you can't feel it, it's really high, and you have to be on a bridge to walk over to. It's just really odd. It was a really odd sort of piece, so anyway, I don't know if there's any repercussions coming from that, or if maybe their art funding has been cut off at this point. I'm not sure, but that's in the news. That's a big ridiculous thing.
Well, the thing that I hate about it, my dad's a veteran. I have an uncle. I have two uncles that are, one's a veteran, and at least two are veterans. There's a lot of people, and there's so many people that have served, and a lot of the stuff that I hear about, if they get sick, the VA is the last place that they go to. It's like the place of the last resort, and I don't know. It just sounds shameful to me, and for me, I love art. Art. I'm obsessed with art, but mercy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy that we'd spend this much money on something when things are in that bad of a state. When you have soldiers that are dying, that are waiting to even see a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy.
So.
Man.
So what's your next? So that was art news. What's your next? What's your next project you got going on with that?
Oh, well, I thought we could do a little drawing. And most time, people sometimes when they're artwork, the biggest thing that I hear is that, I can't draw, I can't even draw a stick figure. Well, of course, everybody can draw a stick figure, but I thought it'd be fun to learn how, to work on getting beyond that, so that you can draw a person, whatever sort of person you want. And an easy way to do that is just by doing shapes. And hey, Jack, could you draw some shapes with me? So.
Can it be something like a?
Well, can you draw the shapes that I draw real quick?
Yeah.
It's like, can you draw at the top? Can you draw a circle? So I'm using paint that I can touch and feel, and Jack's using a marker.
And then a Sharpie.
And can you draw a square? And a rectangle? Awesome. What about a triangle? You're doing it really quick. What about a half circle? Can you do a half circle? Man, you're an expert. All right. Here's the thing, though. If you want to draw a person, you can just use these sorts of shapes and be able to draw a person. Actually, I should. Let me grab this really quick. It's right here. I'm sure. Almost fell on my face. That would have been hilarious. This place where I've got to get it in order. I know everybody's seen the. Have you seen these little guys?
Yep.
Okay. So you see these little guys here, and the whole thing for a figure is if you don't have a model, you can use one of these. And hey Jack, can you come here, baby?
There's also this ginormous hand one.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Wow.
That's true. But here, let's use these guys. So if you wanted to draw like a person, like just standing
Do a
there.
thumbs up on this video.
Yeah, thumbs up. Well, look. Here, Jack. Let's draw something real quick, babe.
Thumbs.
Yeah. So here, if you want to draw a person, like if you want to draw this guy right here, or this guy, the way you can start is that you can make a bit of a circle. Right like that.
I'm gonna start with the torso.
That's a good spot.
Right here.
Yeah. And the torso you can make kind of a square.
I'm making a cylinder. And I'm working on a small one.
But the thing about this is that you can start drawing just using shapes. And this is the way a lot of artists will start working up something. So like all the joints, you can just start adding in the different shapes for it. And I know at first this doesn't look like much.
It's a step up from a stick figure.
It is a step up from a stick figure.
Try it looking good.
The boy's got some skills.
He does.
Gets it from his mom. So
I heard this weird song. It's like, where'd you get that body from? I got it from my dad.
I got it
That's
from my
weird.
mom.
There's a little kid and this girl was like, where'd you get that body from? And the guy was like, I got it from my dad.
Got it from my dad. Well, you're welcome.
It was a weird song.
All right. So, if you don't really know how to draw, that's okay. Anybody can draw a shape, and you just start linking the shapes together. And the neat thing about it, like if you're sighted, if you can use things that you can see and not have to touch, you can do this with a pencil, and you can draw really lightly. So whether or not like you're drawing with your kid, you can make a really light pencil drawing of anything just using basic shapes. You can break anything down into shapes. My mom brought a vase of flowers over there. You could do a rough sketch with just shapes. The circles, the horizontals, the rectangles, horizontals. I meant rectangles, squares, whatever basic shape you just, and that just makes sort of a framework for you to start, to frame the rest of it. It's like if you start.
I am done.
Oh, here, let's show it to this one. There's a camera right there.
Very cool.
It's upside down.
Oh, it's good, Jack.
It should be
No,
right-
it's
it's right
right
side
side
up
up
for the
on here.
See, the camera's there. So now, like if you were looking at that, if you wanted to make it more, like if you wanted to add clothes and stuff to it, you can start thinking like, well, where would a jacket fall in this? And that's really hard. If you're trying to draw, and you're going to draw clothes and stuff, you think, well, how would clothes hang on something? Well, with this, you basically have a skeleton. So you can start working on, well, it would definitely go over the arm, and then, like it would probably go in here, it would start going down.
Jack could get him some wild hair.
You doing some hair over there? Awesome.
Aren't you?
So, you can start,
Got a Frankenstein do going on. I like it.
you can start getting, so like,
I like it.
okay.
I'm making a guy with a withered hat
Oh, yeah.
from
Big one.
Minecraft.
So,
Mm-hmm.
with this, it's going to be a little hard to see because everything's the same color. But you can kind of get the idea where you can start adding in more lines. And the lines you actually like, you can darken. But it makes it a really easy way to be able to start drawing and do
That is
things with your
neat.
kids. And it's nice, like, for drawing in this way, too, it's less intimidating, I think, for kids.
Yeah.
It's more
Fun.
Yeah. So who is it you're drawing anyway?
It's a guy from Minecraft.
Is it Steve?
Well, it's my character. My character mostly looks like a creeper that's mostly not its regular self, like it's all sad, but like it's rainbowed.
Rainbowed.
And
Wow.
It's me
That sounds fancy.
with a katon and an arrow and diamond withered armor.
That's awesome, buddy. Awesome sauce. Well, while Jack works on his thing, maybe we could do technique of the week.
Oh, well, let's do it.
Technique of the week.
It's like stereo.
Technique of the week. I was the person that did that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jackson, for doing that. For doing that. I don't know who I'm trying to channel, but oh my goodness, you're funny. Well, one of the things that I thought that I I wanted to talk about this week, just really quickly, was how to start a composition. A lot of times people aren't sure. Like once you get the idea of a drawing figured out, like, oh, I want to do a drawing. Well, how are you going to take that drawing and make a painting out of it, or a bit overall picture? Throughout the centuries, they've come up with tons of different ways of doing it. There's the golden rule, there's a rule of thirds, or two of the biggest ones, I guess, are the ones that have been around for the longest. Are you done with it? You want to show it here? Let's show.
That's
Let me show it on this one.
Very nice.
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
like that, Jack.
Oh, I didn't know you were showing it on that one.
He's so handsome.
Surprise. The idea though between these things, like the golden rule. Thank you so much for doing that, sweetheart. I'm sorry.
I like stick figs.
I like stick figures too. They're my favorite of all the figures.
He's running.
One of the things though about the golden rule though, it's just a ratio of like 1 to 1.62, I think. So for every like 1 inch you go over, it's 1.62 inches that you go the other way. And it's funny though, like this is something that's gone on since the ancient Greeks, and it was the ratio for getting a perfect rectangle, but it worked for everything. And they use it for music, they use it for painting, they use it for architecture, and even today that's still the ratio that the credit card companies use to make credit cards, and books used for the different sizes of books. It's the golden ratio. It's weird. It's something that's stuck, but that's one of the things you can do. And can you show the picture of it?
I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, cool. There's a couple of different ways of doing it. Like you can think, well, you can break out your calculator and think, well, I've got a canvas this size, so I need to make a mark here. I need to, have a subject right in this area. I need to have a subject over here. Another way of doing it is just by making a curve, and I think the picture should show a curve. And that's an easy way. So like on your canvas or whatever, you can just take it and you hit the corners and you come back around. And it's just sort of an easy way for you to figure out where the highlights are, the best parts of the canvas, that where the eyes. And really, the main thing about this is it's sort of a psychological thing where people tend to look in the same spots. So it's a spot that the eyes normally want to go to rest at whenever you have a rectangle or a square or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's where the eyes are drawn to. The other thing is the rule of thirds, and this is something I actually use quite a bit. And one of the things about the rule of thirds is that it using that. I mean, and I'm not saying that you should always use the golden rule, the rule of thirds, or any of this, but it's just a nice way to start working out a composition. So, are you showing the first picture?
Thirds one, yeah.
Huh?
Thirds one?
Yeah. At least the third one. 1, 3, 3, 1. So you can see this is a pretty well laid out painting. It's got a lot of really good use of negative space. And the thing about negative space in a composition, a lot of artists have trouble with that because there's nothing in it, much going on. It can be boring. And so a lot of times artists will do that in a wrong sort of way, so you end up with this really boring sort of piece. But if it's weighted right, by using a rule like a rule of thirds, then you can do it right. Can you show the second one? Mm-hmm. This just shows the painting broken down in 2/3. So it sounds like I said into 2/3, doesn't it? But I mean into thirds. That's what I mean. I never knew it was so hard to talk about thirds. And here's an idea. So you think, well, yeah, it is broken down. That's cool. But does it really help? Can you show the third picture? You can tell in this third one, it's just off. Like it is just not right. Like it's just weighted wrong. Like it doesn't. Like if you look at the third picture and the first picture, it just doesn't feel as good.
It's less interesting. I mean, it's.
Yeah, it's just. What do you think, Mom?
I think the last one looks really crowded.
Yeah,
that's all right. Yeah, kind of bottom heavy maybe.
Well, the guy's standing up. He looks so big. He looks too. It doesn't look like it's proportioned right, does it?
No. I mean, you can definitely tell it's like the negative space is just equally as as important to the painting as what is happening. So
he's overpowering it. That
guy is. Isn't that weird? So one of the things and. Any of these guidelines, like the golden rule, the rule of thirds, any of these sorts of things, I'll go over more in other weeks. But any of these things, they're just a way of helping to balance your composition. So like if you're putting a composition together and you're thinking like, oh, something isn't right, sometimes you can use one of these rules, one of these ideas to be able to figure it out. And you just think, look at it. There's sometimes I'm working on a composition of trees in a forest, and there's a path, and I have maybe a horse running through, and I'm feeling it, I'm painting it, I'm touching it, and I'm thinking like something was wrong here. I don't know what it is. And then I'll start breaking it down a little bit, and a lot of times I'm able to fix it. It's like, oh, it's too heavy over here. It's too light. It's too dark. And another thing, it's not only just where figures are, but also colors. You can you can have areas that are too light and too dark. So you can use the rule of thirds and the golden rule to have like light areas and dark areas.
Yeah, Valerie said it's overbearing and cut off like without it.
Yeah, and
In the rule of thirds.
another thing you can do too, and there isn't really, I don't know a fancy name for it, like rule of thirds or golden rule, but another thing that you can do to draw attention to your composition though is to have lines in there, in imaginary lines. So like if you think of maybe like well, let me see, like I have my little guy here. Well, if I was going to do a composition of him, I could have lights in the background that kind of go down to his head or follow his arms or whatnot. A lot of times you'll see paintings of knights holding a sword up, and then you may not notice, but sometimes the stars or the light above them is going down, so it's directing towards his sword or down towards him, or they're going up towards like the legs of his horse. But everything is directing towards where the artist wants you to focus on, and that's a nice little way. Sometimes you can have trees and branches that are going off, and the branches are pointing toward where the artist wants your eyes to follow. Little sneaky little bits that they'll throw in to decide where they want you to look.
Yeah.
I'm gonna I'll show this on the camera when I'm done.
No, go. You're going to make something, though. I'm scared. Well, anyway, that's technique of the week. I know it's a small technique, but, if you find yourself in a bind,
It's crucial.
sometimes a golden rule can get you out. What is a golden rule? I mean, not that golden rule, but what's the golden rule? Don't tell a lie, or...
Treat
Do unto others.
Oh, do unto others.
Do unto others you would have them do unto you.
Oh. Must be a bad person. I can't think, like, what's that, just slapping
I
somebody
tried to
around
teach
on
you
that.
that. I tried to teach you that.
Oh, well, you did a good job trying. Well, hey, Jackson, you want to come look at your painting? I think it's about dry.
Okay.
And I got a question for you about it.
What?
Oh, so guys, and let me say for next week, like I said, we're going to be there next week. Next week, what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to paint a portrait of Martin Luther King.
Oh.
And do that. And I want to do a really big one, so I don't know how that's going to
You're
work
gonna do
out.
that next week?
That's what I'm hoping.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I'm wanting to do that next Friday.
What I did.
What would you do?
Is that to commemorate something? Or?
Well, we're in Dallas. We've been having a lot of
Oh, yeah.
trouble here, and a lot of places in the country and the world. But there's been a lot of strife and a lot of people that are hurting. And I don't know. I just hate seeing people hurt. And I was thinking back to what some different people were talking about and what words gave me comfort and in different times in history when things were far worse, and so it just made me lead to Dr. King.
Look.
Oh, you know what that is?
Log sign or?
Yeah, I love you.
I thought it was a rock and
What?
roll.
Oh, were you going for I love you or rock and roll?
Rock and roll.
You love that.
Is that
Maybe
rock
it's
and
I
roll?
love
Yeah.
rock and
Oh.
roll.
What is this? Hook 'em horns?
Yeah.
I know some people are gonna hate me, but is that OU or is it Texas?
It's Texas.
That's what I would think, because the Aggies
Yikes,
and all.
babe, you're in Texas.
Well, no, I know, but the Aggies, I don't, I love
Aggies.
football, but I'm not a big, the Aggies in it?
It's
Huh?
UT.
Here's a small.
UT.
Oh,
Here's a small figure of someone doing a ballerina, and
oh,
here's a big figure of someone being a ballerina.
wow, fancy, pleurer.
What?
Well, John saw all those dog paintings to get back to that guide school.
Yeah,
Seeing
yeah.
my dog.
Oh yeah, we
Did they
we
all
sold. Hey,
sell
Jack,
whenever-
I'm gonna ask you something really quick, baby, in a second. Yeah, we sold 9 paintings, and a bunch of prints, and the artwork for all those paintings. There's still 3 paintings there.
Uh-huh.
Because we had 10 paintings in the show, and every painting in the show was a dog painting. But we brought 4 extra paintings down there. And right now, I'm not sure, is there 1 painting left?
Well, there's 3 dog paintings left.
Is
Which
there?
ones are
Yeah.
left? It's the Chihuahua one.
You know, I'll,
That one's sold. The 3 that are left are Beats, which is the dog with the headphones.
Oh yeah.
Paris Poodle, which is the woman
I
with
love that
with
one.
the poodle, and then Dreams of Flight, which is the little like Papillon chasing a butterfly.
So how much are these?
and they're all
selling
3 real. I mean, I know I sound terrible. Like, oh, they're great paintings, but those are really they're 3 paintings I really
Yeah, they were
enjoy.
for? I
They're
love
good
that
ones.
one with the Eiffel Tower, right?
I mean, they're all. I mean, I narrowed all the paintings down to ones that I really liked, but I mean, so all of them. But
So how, if somebody wanted to buy one, well, how would they do it? I mean, could they go on to does the
if they send me an email, that I can talk to the gallery for them, and
so
then
what are those paintings going for?
I don't.
They
We marked it, and that's one of the things too. The paintings are going for a lot less. They're than like shows we have in California and some other places, where there's probably about half the price of that.
Really?
yeah.
I mean, I don't
I mean,
want to
part-
say it's a really good deal because they're
part-
so expensive.
Yeah,
I mean,
part of the deal is that the idea was to get to move them, to sell them, so that
Yeah.
the proceeds would go to the guide dog school. Because, I mean that was the whole point of the evening, was to
Exactly.
generate some money for them. So
Exactly, that's one thing, and that's one
I
thing
mean,
that we don't have really.
Yeah,
is
they
an
were
ego
probably
with the
going
art.
for like here, so that people would buy them like about $1,300. Is what.
Yeah, and and that's one thing that we try not to have an ego about the artwork. So if we're doing a benefit with charity, we're not trying to necessarily set a record for how much a painting goes for. We'd rather sell the painting for less and raise money for the charity and raise money in general than to not sell it at all. But we put a giant price tag on it. I mean, that just seems ridiculous. So we tried to lower the prices to give everybody a good deal, and then for it and the value
It
for
is
it.
for charity.
Yeah, and it is for charity, and it's funny. Like some of my prints and stuff I found on eBay. It's like we'll sell them more cheaply on at a charity before, and then I've gone and had them on eBay.
Yeah, I mean it was a great show. It was super successful, and everybody had a good time, and the cookies were awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to hear
Mom was
about
asking about
the
that.
I don't know if anybody is whoever sees John's Facebook feed, but we took pictures of the cookies and put them up there.
Yeah.
They were super yummy and really cool.
Were they sugar
So-
cookies?
Yeah, yeah.
Jackie.
I had 2 bites. I had 2 bites. John ate 2 of the cookies.
Was the icing good?
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
look delicious.
Oh,
Are
no,
they
well,
selling
that's
those online?
No, they weren't. In fact, do we have any more? Did you eat all the cookies?
I ate them all.
You ate all the cookies?
I ate all the cookies.
Oh my
All the
God.
cookies were eaten by me.
How many did you have?
I'm gonna have a strawberry.
Hey, no, Jack, can you please come
Shaming
here?
you in front of the world.
Yeah.
Cookie shame.
No, they were good. I know that's Jackie said I don't even.
Well, no, I mean, it was
so
fine. You could eat
I ate one a day for like 3 days.
Oh, so there must have been 3.
Yeah. So I want to ask you really quick, and so what do you think about your painting? What does it look like? What
It
colors?
looks blue and green.
You used a lot of blue and green, didn't you?
And I see a little bit of orange.
Oh, really? Where's the orange at? Oh, tap. What do you think of mine?
There's pink, yellow,
I went for more overall sort of like weird
greenish
mixed colors.
blue, purple,
Mm.
a banana color.
Well, the cool thing with yours,
Look,
if we took some white paint or a white pen, you'd be able to do some marks on it and dart. You'd be able to paint. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You bet. So that's one of the things. So this is a nice technique to be able to put down like a background. And then you could even do some other paint and art techniques over it. But really, anything that you can do with your kids like this is just fun. I've done something similar to this on toast before.
On toast.
Yeah, like you can paint on toast with watercolor. I mean food coloring. Food coloring, not watercolor.
That's right.
You can just use oil paint, whatever.
God,
Kids are tough.
little turpentine.
they'll knock those toxins right out. They run around so much. No, food coloring. But you can do
That
little
is
paintings on
cool.
toast, and you put it in the toaster, and it'll set it. You can do the same thing
Really?
with pancakes. Yeah. No.
Uh,
So what are you drawing, by the way? Minecraft? Let me guess, Minecraft?
Yep.
Oh, Scott.
Minecraft story mode, withered. One of the withered storm skeleton, withered storm. One of the withered storm's heads.
Is it withered?
Oh.
Thing's pretty strong. Like there was one girl left in this whole. Like,
Well, that's good, but why don't you work on that for a little bit? I don't want to spark a Minecraft discussion.
It'll never end.
Oh my goodness.
Never end.
Well,
It's a loophole into never ending.
I'm telling you, man. I started a Minecraft discussion with you 3 years ago, and we haven't ended it yet. It's been a long talk.
Joe, what are the next series of paintings you're going to work on?
Well, I'm really throwing myself into commissions. Like, I'm just doing a ton of commissions. There's been people that commissioned paintings for over a year ago, and I feel so bad about it. And then I'm really working on that, and I'm trying to get completely caught up. Well, one sec, baby. Really trying to get caught up and get current. That way, whenever somebody orders a painting, I can get right out to them, a lot quicker. And so it's just been a little nutty, and I felt so bad about it. And Jackie has too. And one of the things that's taken away is that we've done more work with charities and nonprofits this year than we ever have. I mean, we've really amped it up, and a lot of traveling, tons of traveling. The last years, the average of traveling has been like once every 2 weeks. No, baby, please don't. Oh, here, yeah, you can use all that. But be careful, all that stuff's...
Like I need
Okay, yeah,
help getting
okay.
it.
But we travel a ton, and then this year has just been a ton more. So we're going to try to do that in a bit of a different way, so that we have more time in the studio. And
How are you going to do it different?
Say no to some things.
Yeah, well,
Well,
there's some things I'm gonna have to say no to, but we're also going to try to do it in a little bit different way so that we can raise the money with the charities and be able to, the things that we do, be able to do them, make more of an impact. Because right now I do a ton of talks and we do a ton of, that's enough of all the colors, baby. That's enough.
Give me a brush.
Oh, okay. Can you go get a brush? You bet. We just do a ton of talks and different things, and that's great. That's why we want to keep up. But right now, though, I mean, the average was every 2 weeks we're flying somewhere, and that's gone up this year. And it's just made it where I'm not in the studio and I'm not able to meet those commitments, and that's not good.
Right.
But yeah, and I want to work on a whole new series of paintings and art. So I want to be in here and making things, and we're really excited about getting the studio set up to be able to make it a workspace. We've had this idea for years of making a really cool workshop space, and we've always thought about making it more brick and mortar. But the cool thing about the internet is that we don't have to be consigned just to the town that we're in. There's cool people and people that are interested in art all over the place. So
Yeah.
we thought, hey,
Well, did your stay in Colorado, did it spark any inspiration for outdoor paintings?
It
or-
did. I want to do some mountain paintings, and I hiked up in the mountains a couple of times. We were right there in the mountains, so it was like you step out of your trailer and you're basically in the mountains. So and you walk away from it, and I did some sketching up there and started working on a number of paintings. And
Really?
I did. It was a lot of animal paintings
Uh-huh.
that I actually was doing in the mountain. And I have one on a GoPro. I took a GoPro up there with Echo and I, and one of the things I learned on a mountain is that they're really angled. So I kept sliding down while I was trying to sketch, and I'm sliding. So finally I got my easel and I propped it up against a tree, and Echo was nice and propped where she was, and I got propped up on a tree where I'm basically like hugging it, and sketching. And
I should have calmed.
I'm telling you, man. I told you. Good times. Yeah, but so I want to do some more of that.
What about that forest fire? Would you consider doing a painting?
Oh,
that
that's a
could
good
do that?
question. Yeah, I want to do a forest, because the forest fire, honestly, is as bad as it. It's crazy.
Uh-huh.
It was like, it ended up being like, oh baby, here, you can't put it on wet stuff or it makes the marker not work. So we need to set it aside. I wanted it smelled amazing. It smelled like a campfire, and it just smelled incredible. And the energy from it all, it was just an amazing energy. It was almost like Hurricane Sandy whenever we were in New York, in the hurricane.
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
There was just this crazy energy in the air, and
I'm sorry.
even though we weren't under any real danger, I mean the hurricane wasn't going to come in and sweep us away. You were still in uncertainty. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? And it was the same way with that forest fire, because we heard where we were, there was only one road, and that road was closed down. and nobody knew which end of the road was closed down because the fire. We were in and the fire was like there. You know, it's so which way did it go? And we didn't know, and nobody knew. And we picked the way against where the wind was blowing, and we picked the right way and got out just hours before they had to evacuate the entire area. And so I definitely want to put that, but not like a scary sort of painting, but just that beautiful glow of a forest fire and the
That would
way
be
it's in
cool.
the clouds
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Well, did you figure out how to paint while you were traveling? You were going to try to figure out a way to paint.
I did. You know, I did a bird in the ox when we were traveling in the ox. So I sketched it there, and then I finished it at the campsite. And I think I posted that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted it. I did the drawing. So that should be on our channel. I'm not sure if it's on the YouTube channel yet. One thing, we've been traveling so much. We just got back this week, and we're actually going to be here for a couple of weeks, which is awesome. And then I think the next thing we're doing is in Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
So we'll be going down to Corpus Christi in a few weeks.
So you're going
but-
to be a festival?
Yeah, it'll be a festival down there, and
When is this going to be?
a few weeks, I think. And then, but in a couple of weeks, we're going to go down to Galveston, but that's just going to be for fun. But
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Fun.
But guys, well, anyway, so here lately, it seems like all these shows have been kind of willy-nilly and crazy, and we're, you know, we've been traveling so much, and we get back and we're having some technical sort of things, and we're gonna really we're gonna work hard on that. So hopefully, my goal is by next Friday to have a much better resolution and
Yeah, and what we should do is, you know, we could like do a span of the studio. Like, well, I mean, it'll be set up, so we can do sort of an overview of like this is what the studio looks like. You know, now that we're changing it up.
Yeah, and it'll be a cool spot too because we'll have a place. So if you guys are in the area, or if you come traveling through the area on a Friday night, you'll have a place to come and hang out, and you can paint with us live.
Yeah.
That would be cool because we'll have a spot set up for it. There's and really one thing that inspired all this is an artist named Gary Simmons in Hot Springs. It's just an incredible pen and ink. He's one of the most foremost pen and ink artists in the country. He's just renowned, just incredible.
He's a Hot Springs national treasure, isn't he?
Oh, well, no.
Wait.
That's another. There's a lot of amazing artists there. No, but that's funny. And my brain right now. His wife said that if he'd be a buried treasure if you ever wandered or anything. But no, Gary Simmons though he's one of the national most foremost pen and ink artists. He's just incredible, and but they've had a life drawing session in his house since the 1970s, and it's like twice a week. They do it every week, twice a week, and I think they moved it to once a week.
Good grief.
But isn't that amazing? Mm-hmm. And it's funny because they've had some people come for the life drawing classes where they had them there in the 70s, and then like this one woman, she ended up having a daughter, and then the daughter and the mom both came back like when the daughter was in her 20s, and they did another life drawing session. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's one thing that sparked it. It's just these really interesting, cool artists with really amazing ideas, and I thought I was looking at YouTube because I was wanting to find a channel that had it on there, and I was looking, I couldn't find anything that had it. I couldn't find anything that had it, so I thought, well, doggone, let's
do it.
Let's just do it. Maybe some other people, want to do some cool art stuff.
Is
But
it
anyway,
like-
guys, so that's in the works. Next Friday we'll have a much better idea about all that. Hopefully we'll get the technical stuff worked out. That's the goal. But I want to thank you so much for coming and hanging with us for this and being a part of this. I feel like this is the beginning of something, like we're just getting all the kinks worked out. We're figuring out how to work this stuff, how to get it going. And with your help, and your suggestions, it's really been a help.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and it's only going to get better from here.
Have a good week, guys. We'll see you next Friday.
Thanks again for tuning in.
Wait, I need to say something.
Oh, goodness.
Uh-oh.
What do you got? Make it good.
I'm eating the strawberry,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't care about the strawberry flower stem.
You're just going to eat it?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Oh, I don't know if you're going to eat that. It's like Deadly Nightshade or something. I don't know.
Deadly
in the family?
Nightshade?
I don't know. It's in the family. Am I
I
right?
don't know.
Am I right?
Anyway,
Really?
I don't know.
You're
Probably not.
crazy.
I think I'm crazy.
tune in next week to see if he's alive.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Good Lord, man.
Look, I ate the thing, see?
Yikes.
See, I ate it.
Good night, guys.
Literally, I ate the thing, see?
I believe you.
Look,
Wacky.
literally, look.
Hey, Jackie.
I mean, give me a sec.
Jackie.
Yeah. Was it good? Did it taste good? No. Okay.
A little crunchy, but good.